we are back. Today I am with Mr. Fat Thor, Dakota Begley. He has a amateur kickboxing match coming up. His kickboxing debut against the Wendigo, William Honaker, or as Elijah used to like to say, Honaker. So I think Elijah got it down. Honaker. So yeah, man, like, what's it like coming into your kickboxing debut? How's this gonna be feel a little different?
Yeah, it's a little different, but like I mean, it really for me, it like because I've got been training with Ken Beverly. You know, he was pretty much at the UFC's door once upon a time. So the kickboxing aspects, I'm not really worried about. We've been going over a few things. Like just recently, we've been going over some. I'm not really sure what form it's from, but just basic like axe kick, and then like been working a spinning back kick as dumb as that. But you know, been getting a lot of rounds in like that. Like the whole checking the kicks was a new one for me. But once I got it down the system, you know, it was good. And then fortunate enough, my opponent's a southpaw. And actually, my first opponent in the USA boxing match, he was a southpaw, and then Joe Perry was a southpaw. So that's a plus there because that's nothing new to have to see. Kind of doesn't know how to adjust to the angles and things because it's fighting a southpaw is awkward anyways because you have so many weird angles that you're going to be at that most people wouldn't know how to throw a punch if they hadn't fit a southpaw.
Yeah, it's definitely weird, man. They're used to fighting right-handed guys. Like that's no problem. Everybody struggles. I mean, southpaw will struggle against another southpaw.
Yeah, right. Because they're a southpaw. They never get to see a southpaw. They're like the rest of us. They don't ever see them.
Yeah. So you're coming in, giving up a little bit of size. I believe he's probably 6'3" or 6'4". And you're about 6 foot, right? And
I'm no stranger to being a little guy. I mean, everybody that I've come across fighting, you know, like except for the one in Redneck Brawl, he was like 5'8" or something. But you know, my first match with DeJuan Alexander, great guy. I respect the hell out of him. He, I want to say he was probably 6'4", 6'5", maybe he might have even been taller because I remember me being here and him being there.
Yeah.
And he had just reach on me anyways. And then Joe Perry was a little bit taller than me and was a little bit longer than me. So, you know, I'm no stranger to having to fight the bigger opponent, clear the distance. That aspect is, I don't really worry about that because, like I said, I'm used to being a smaller guy.
Yeah, and then you had William comparing you to a interesting version of Mike Tyson.
Yeah, gas station Mike Tyson. I laughed about that for 20 minutes. I really did because that was funny.
And you got a little comparison for him too, right?
Yeah, I do. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, dang, man, he's taking shots at me. I don't even know. I was like, damn. And then it dawned on me. I was like, you know, it kind of looks like Roy Nelson, so we're going to call him the Great Value Roy Nelson.
Great Value Roy Nelson. I like that one. So we got the gas station Tyson versus the Great Value Roy Nelson.
It just fits, man.
Yeah.
like he said, we're West Virginia professionals, so it just fits.
Yeah. Last time I saw you fight was the Huntington Toughman contest. And you came out and ended somebody really quick and I believe hurt your shoulder. And have you done anything since then?
As in just training and everything? Yeah.
All right, you've been training, but no other competition since that one?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I just strictly training for this. We come out of that. I pulled my bicep that first night. I come in the second day. Well, it was actually the tendon was what I pulled.
Yeah.
I guess you'd call it a strain. I couldn't hardly raise my shoulder up, so I was like, man, I can't fight one arm. So I wound up pulling out continuing to watch. But now as soon as I got back, I took a day off and then right back to training, and we've been getting ready for this one ever since. We was actually getting ready for this one before then. The Tough Man was just a little hiccup in between. I did for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back, man. You've been on a lot of our cards. Let's see, the first time was we had you scheduled for. No, you did fight September, right? Was it September you fought for us?
I was supposed to fight. Let's see, I can't remember who it was I was supposed to fight. You had me scheduled later in like September, and then the one before that we fit, or not been in September that I fit. Whichever way, I was supposed to fight somebody else.
Yeah,
and wound up. It was like in November. No, you had
October. You were gonna fight Jug, right?
That's what it was. October, I was supposed to fight Jug, and then I wound up YOLO in an MMA match with Dustin Pulley, and got TKO'd there on my own mistakes. Just got caught lacking. Tried to set the guy up for full uppercut counter, and I hit the cage. Don't know why, but I kind of looked behind me and didn't see the right hand coming. So it is what it is. There I was.
Yeah, and then
Clipped me there, and
then
ref got
short, maybe 6-8 weeks after that, you got in the cage for a boxing match with Joe Perry.
Yeah,
and that was I was expecting that one to be really close. Like Joe's been improving a lot. I was thinking that was going to be like a really good fight. I mean, it was really one side, and that shot that that shows you've been working though.
Oh yeah, I mean it's day in day out. Like I mean, I work, which I think he works at Walmart too. Maybe I think he's a team lead or something other. I don't.
Yeah.
My coach said something other. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But he's like me, works night shift. Obviously, if he's going to work on his interview.
I think Joe is running a go or maybe assistant manager of a Go-Mart or something.
Yeah,
something like that. Third key to Go-Mart out.
I got you.
Yeah,
but I leave work. I train. The training never did stop. I've been training real heavy. It's usually 6-7 days a week. And then I'm with my guys Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we've been traveling around now training. And we found some other places to go train where I actually have sparring partners, because my problem, the whole thing was I got sparring partners, but they're all lightweights or they're middleweights. Like, I mean, I got Joe Thompson to spar with and Calvin to spar with. Tyler Clark to spar with. He's a heavyweight, but he's not as tall stature. So we found a place I can go spar where everybody there is at least 4 inches taller than me, and it works perfect. Works out great. It's exactly what I'll be facing.
So are you going to 2 places, or I didn't know if these were like the same place, Ascend Boxing and then Viper Pit. Are you with both of those guys or both of those places?
I'm really just with Ascend Boxing, but we've been going up there and training some with Donald Neese. Like he's got a pretty good little place there, and that's where Joe and him's been going to. And I go up there and spar with them sometimes. Sometimes I hold mitts for the guys and stuff. Just to do what I got to do there. But we've been traveling up to Whitesburg too a little bit and training there. They didn't really start any combat like sparring until we started coming. They introduced kickboxing. The guy that's the main guy there, he was a professional boxer. He's had a couple professional MMA matches. So I was like, this be a good guy, man.
Oh yeah. Who are you with at Whitesburg? What gym is that, and who's the coach there?
It's not really a gym, but I don't know his actual name. I just call him Trotter. I don't know his first name or last name, but I just know him as Trotter. That's actually where I'm going today.
Would that be Anthony?
Maybe, buddy. He's something to do with police.
Yeah, state police officer, and he's a pro fighter.
Yeah, is that who it is?
Yeah, the only one I could think of, him and his brother used to run a promotion over in Kentucky and put on a lot of fights around Pikeville and Jenkins and other areas. If I'm thinking of the right guy, they ran Gladiator Fighting Championship is what it was called. And I fought for them a few times back, probably, almost 20 years ago.
Been a hot minute.
Yeah. I believe he had a lot of amateur boxing matches, and then somehow got into a tough man contest and just absolutely wrecked everybody there. I don't know how he got into a tough man contest, but having that many fights, if it's the same guy.
It sounds a lot like the same guy. So
yeah. I would say it's him. Probably mid 40s now. I would say he's a little older than I am.
We have to be talking about the same guy.
Yeah. Cool. And then so I'm hoping to get some of the Viper Pit guys, but it seems like their gym's like on again, off again type of thing. Like they'll be training, and I'm talking to them about sending fighters over, and then next thing you know, the gym is shut down. And then so I move on. And then like 6 months later, they're back running. So I don't know. I'm hoping I would like to get some of those guys over here, because I know they got a few. One of their middleweights is like 8-3 or something like that. I was talking to him about fighting Eli Hawkins over here for our title. Yeah. But we were talking about it, and then their gym closed down. So I don't know what's going on.
Like I really wasn't into fighting when Viper Pit was a thing, but it'd been down for a little while, and he'd been like doing self-defense courses for like when I come in, his opening line, he's like, his class is to be able to protect yourself on the street, or somebody smash your girlfriend by in public. Yeah. That was his opening line. I was like, I already like it here. I was like, this is my kind of people.
Yeah. I like him. I like Donald. I've spoken to him a few times.
But yeah, I mean, just a couple guys I've talked to, they say it's kind of on and off. Last time I was down there, Donald was talking about actually getting right back into it. He said he'd been out of it for 7 or 8 years or something. He said he was actually going to try to actually really get back into it.
Yeah.
I hope he does, because that's another place for us to train. It's another place for people to get interested. He just
I believe Lee trained with those guys when they were running, and then they had Lucas Bramble.
Yeah, Lucas.
Trying to remember this other guy's name, the tall guy, middleweight. George. Something. I can't remember. But I know they got people. I know they got some people. They got some people who want to fight. They just got to stay active, get back in shape, and get in there.
Right.
But so. You've seen a little bit of, I'm sure you've seen the one fight Honaker has. And it's hard to judge him by it because he was training for an MMA fight. His whole game plan was based around wrestling and jiu-jitsu, really just grappling his opponent because his opponent was our kickboxing champ. Well, I don't know what happened, but the dude never did his blood work and was supposed to have had it all taken care of last minute and didn't. And so it came down to like, all right, we can switch this to a boxing or a kickboxing match. Otherwise, it's off. And he agreed. All right, I'll kickbox him. So he kickboxed our kickboxing champion for his debut period. And he came out and fought, man. I believe they went in the second round. But so what are your takeaways from that? What do you see out of it?
I mean, he, watched it. Obviously, your debut fight, having to fight somebody that you didn't realize was a kickboxing champ until you did, will make you nervous. Like he said, the guy got the belt for a reason. So I'm sure his nerves was high, but I expect to see a totally different guy when we come back to this matchup around. But like he said, like Elijah was talking, he's been out of it so long I had a fight, he'll probably have those first round jitters again. I'm assuming maybe not, but I expect to see a totally different opponent whenever I come in this time. And I mean, the size, the reach advantage, not really worried about it. I'm just going to do my game plan that we got called out, and we're just going to roll with it. We're going to run it and see how it goes.
Yeah, it goes. It's like it's a weird thing experience wise because I believe he's been around the game for longer than you have, probably quite a bit longer, but you have like vastly more experience in the ring than he has. So he's got maybe 3 minutes total in the ring, and then I don't know, how many fights would you say you have now total?
I mean, if we count tough man and all,
everything,
5 or 6.
5 or 6 fights, and he's just had the one fight that ended in the second round. So it's he's got more training, but you've got a ton more ring experience. So it's like, all right, just another fight. To him, it's like his debut all over again. Yeah. So I'm interested in it, man. It's going to be a big fight, and we're really trying to get things moving with our kickboxing divisions here. I mean, even boxing and everything. We're trying to get some Grand Prix tournaments set up. We've got the heavyweight professional Grand Prix coming up first, and we're looking into an amateur tournament. So this is definitely a fight to get things moving in the heavyweight kickboxing division. And hopefully we have a lot of guys following behind you guys in this and getting into it.
Since I started, we've had several at my gym be interested, but they none of them will commit. They kind of see how much work that it takes to actually fight. I don't know if I got time for that. And it's like, well, a lot of us don't have time to make it.
You get a lot of those weekend warriors, like the guys, they don't want to train, but they want to fight. They want the end result, but they don't want the grind that it takes to get there. They want to make that money, but they don't want to, they don't want to work their way up to get to it. So a lot of guys come into it. They want to train once a week, and then they want to go fight for 10 grand in a few months, and they're asking for easy opponents. Like, I want $10,000 on an easy opponent, and I don't want to train. And that's the mindset of a lot of these people. But they don't want to embrace that grind and really do what it takes to be a fighter. And I mean, then you got the guys like you. You're in the gym every day. You're fighting as much as you can, and you're working full time as well.
Yeah, it's like, I was no stranger to having to grind on something because I did strongman before I did this. And strongman is one of the hardest sports that there ever will be. Oh, yeah. I mean, pretty much it was like I had a second job because of the training and all the recovery aspects. So then when I come into the fight game, training actually got a little bit easier because everything wasn't so.
Yeah.
And, I didn't have to consume, like, an entire size table full of food every day. So that was fun.
Yeah.
So, it helped me save time. And it's actually the greatest thing I've ever done into fighting because I feel better. I've lost like 70-some pounds. I used to be like 3. Yeah, I feel like a new man.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know you were, I don't think I knew you were doing that. That's pretty cool, man. I'm going to have to check out some of the pictures of you up 70 pounds. See
Yeah,
the 300-pound version of you.
Get all my strongman stuff. I was once upon a time a national competitor, and just I started having hip issues because like I didn't have time to do the therapy I needed on top of it, so I just hung it up.
I couldn't imagine having hip issues and then trying to pick up like a 400-pound like concrete ball or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the Atlas Stones.
Atlas Stones.
We had yoke carries, farmer carries. We had all kinds of stuff, man. It was it make an old man out of you quick.
Oh yeah, sure. Fighting beat my body down. I would say street basketball probably beat me down more than anything. I was always landing on somebody's foot and tearing my knee or ankle up.
You know, every time I want to pick up gun basketball, I come out hurt.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. I think the last time I was in a league, the last time I played in a league, I was starting to, toward the end of the season, start to get in shape, feeling better, like running all the time. And then next thing you know, I'm driving for a layup. Somebody comes in and somehow just tear my knee all the hell. That season's over for me. And that was the end of me in basketball. Miss it, man. I'm trying to get out playing a little bit, and it's hurting my back and everything. When I hit over 300 pounds, I had to get back into something. But all right, cool. So we got two of your teammates fighting on this. Let's talk about them real quick before we end it. So we got your buddy Charles Hendricks making his debut in a heavyweight kickboxing match against Bo Romine. Oh, sorry, Bo. So he's fighting Bo. Bo just fought for the first time like 2 weeks ago. He entered the Tough Man in Huntington and ended up being the heavyweight champion. So what are you thinking about that fight there with Charles and Bo?
Well, me personally, I think it'd be a pretty even match, just for the fact of they're both the tough man type, meet in the middle and duke it out kind of brawlers.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the other guy trains, but Charles
does. Yeah.
He does train? Okay,
Yeah.
Well, Charles is pretty much like on his own, self-taught, but I'm trying to get him to come over with us. That way we can help him out and everything. But I understand he seems to be in like tremendous shape, just working on his own. But I think it'll be a pretty even fight. I believe it's going to come down to whoever lands the first big blow, or who can out cardio the other.
That's heavyweight fighting in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to that. I don't expect no fancy footwork or anything like that. But then again, I might get surprised and somebody might do it. I mean, I ain't gonna underestimate every one of them. But
yeah, I saw a clip of Bo and the Tough Man. And I don't know, maybe it was just some first time jitters, but he was getting a little bit wild in there. I was talking to him about that, and he said that he said that's not how he likes to fight. I guess it was just you only got 1 minute of work and just got to get in there and be busy. Yeah, so we got another guy. Joe Dadbod Thompson coming in looking to get his first boxing win, and he is up against I'm going to call them rivals at this point. I mean, this is a rematch, him and Zane Fry, and Joe is he has actually said if he loses to Zane Fry, he's done. And so both guys are coming into this, looking to pick up that win. What are you thinking about this one?
Well, we've been working with Joe a lot, and I'm a pressure style fighter, so I've been staying right on top of him and making him have to work rather than letting him sit and be comfortable. I've been making him work. So he's got pretty comfortable in the pocket. He's actually landing shots now. He's actually circling out like he should. He's got a getaway method. He's got a engage method, a de-engage method. He's improved so much from his last fight. I mean, there's always room for more improvement, but just from his last fight to now, he's improved so much.
I believe he had only been with you guys for like a few weeks at the time he fought Zane the first time.
Yeah, he's been coming in training with us like he'd come in once or twice a weekend, most time Friday and Saturday. But I think he's actually supposed to be with us today, Sunday, and he was with us yesterday. But now pretty much we see him about every weekend. We're training at our gym, and then our gym, insurance purposes and things, we can't spar, so no big deal. Yeah. So we go to Viper Pit where we can, and that's where. So we'll do our mitt routines and all of our cardio. Then we'll go spar 20, 30 rounds, go home and sleep.
So is Joe primarily out of the Viper Pit?
He's a little bit of both, primarily, I believe. Because he was mainly with us, and then he started going to Viper Pit, and then he's mainly stayed up there for the past little while, working with Donald. But he goes back and forth, and then, like I say, he's going with us Whitesburg today, so he's been traveling, seeing new fighters too. And I think he's been over to Pikeville too, and training some with I can't remember his name.
Tyler Smith, I believe. Yeah.
He's been going over to that gym and training some. So
I'm glad he's getting it in, man.
Let's see more fighters. I was like, get to see new guys, find guys your size, find guys that fight your guy. I was like, you find them, go train with them.
Yeah.
So that's what he's done. He took that advice and run.
That's good, man. I know he probably wasn't ready to go pro when he did. He was 4-3 as an amateur, but those were all rough and rowdy, tough man type of fights, 1 minute round. And,
yeah, we've had a conversation with him.
Yeah, I don't know what led to him going professional, but he had already had a fight. I believe, he came here after his first fight, and he's fought here 3 or 4 times.
I would say him going professional was one of them deals where like he had to win to get paid, and the rough and rowdies, and they was like, "Hey, we'll give you $500 just to show up." And
yeah,
he was like, "Hell yeah, I'll go make $500." And that's probably how he got into it.
I would say. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So yeah, him and Zane, big rematch. You got any prediction on that one?
Well, if my honest prediction, really honestly, if Joe comes out and he sticks to the game plan and does what he does, I can see a early second round finish, or it's going to go to this.
Okay. How about a prediction on your fight?
I don't really have a prediction on mine. It's a pretty good matchup. It's going to be interesting. I know we're both going to be throwing bombs.
Yeah.
And he's probably definitely got me in the kick department for sure, but I think I got him in the boxing department. But it's going to be 2 different styles. It's going to be the distance versus the pressure guy. We're going to see how it works out.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate you coming on and talking. So we got you and Honaker here in 3 weeks. And any last words?
Just to my opponent. Inside the ring, I respect him as a person, as a man. He seems like a pretty good guy, and but inside the ring, the respect is earned, and I expect the same from him. But all in all, he seems like a good guy, and I wish him the best of luck. May the better man win.
I like it. All right, everybody, this has been Fat Thor, Dakota Begley. Catch him here on March 9th at Catlettsburg, Kentucky, at the Boyd Convention and Arts Center. New Line Cage Fighting 22.